harsh, but most people should not become life insurance agents. And that's kind of crazy. Most people should not become life insurance agents. And what I'm about to share with you guys is actually really cool because if you're getting hung up on objections, if you're not making the money that you want to be making, if you are just getting a lot of intro objections and you're just not selling life insurance, it's not actually your skill set. It's not the leads. It's probably the character traits that you have that's preventing you from being successful. Every single top agent that I've had at my company that I've worked with, A players, have these three character traits. It's not 1 out of 2. It's not 2 out of 3. It's 3 out of 3. Every single top agent is. So I'm going to teach you exactly what it is, how to test to see if you have it, and most importantly, how you can actually develop that by the end of this video. So let's go ahead. First one is emotional intelligence. What is emotional intelligence, or EQ? That is your ability to understand people. The top life insurance agents that I've ever worked with to be a top player in this business have the highest level of emotional intelligence. Okay, so what is that? That is you understanding who you are speaking with. That is you understanding the other person on the line. A lot of agents say, Peter, well, everyone's hanging up on me. What do I need to say? Everyone's hanging up in the middle of the call. What should I do differently? The question is they're hanging up on you for a reason. It's because you are not understanding them. It's not a special word track that I need to give you. You need to develop the character trait of having better emotional intelligence. So what does that mean? When Miss Betty is talking really low and really slow, you're going to adapt to understand her differently. You're going to be like, oh, okay, so your volume's going to change. Your cadence is going to change. Your speed's going to change. And your volume's going to lower to speak to someone that can appreciate you, can feel heard like Miss Betty. Or you might speak to Mr. Jim Tom, who's like, why the hell you call me for life insurance? And if you speak to him like you're speaking to Miss Betty, oh yeah, I'm just calling you about the life insurance. Man, I don't care about you. And he's going to hang up on you. And then you're going to say, why am my leads suck? No, you didn't adapt to the canvas, or you didn't try to get to know the person the way that they wanted to be known. So you actually have to adapt your approach. I call this being a chameleon. I'm going to walk you through how you can do it. But first, it's so important that you understand why you need to change your process and your approach when it comes to your EQ, understanding the people that you're talking to. There's 3 core ways to do that. So you can actually implement this right now in your business and in your sales process. Number 1 is you need to speak less and listen more. Okay. Speak less and listen more. To have more emotional intelligence, which is you understanding your prospect. One of the best compliments that I ever got, and someone says, this is your core secret, Peter, of why you're so talented on the phones, is because you're so curious. And in order to be curious, you can sit back with your coffee and you can kick your feet back up and you can say, really, tell me more. And the prospect opens up. Now, how do you know if you're listening enough and speaking less? When you're calling people, you should have a call tracker. Let's say a call is 60 minutes. You should be able to see how much you are speaking versus how much the prospect is speaking. And a great balance is 70, 30. 70% the prospect, 30% you. That means that 70% of the time you are listening to your prospect. If you are carrying the conversation, if you are dominating the call, if you are just talking, the promise you, the prospect doesn't care about you. The prospect doesn't care that your brother's name is Tony and their sister's name is Tanya. They don't care about your life. And once you understand that, you're going to increase your emotional intelligence, and people are going to actually start enjoying talking to you and want to build relationships with you, because when you have great emotional intelligence, people will start feeling trusted by you. They feel like they can build a relationship with you. They can go deeper with you, and that is how you are able to sell them. It's not a fancy word track. So speak less, listen more. Second thing is, in order to build more emotional intelligence, is that you have to mirror your prospect. What does this mean? This is a great principle that I've learned from FBI negotiation, Never Split the Difference, Chris Voss. He talks about this, how they use this in negotiation, and I've used this in my sales approach. I've taught hundreds of agents this method, and that is when a prospect tells you something, you're going to repeat back to them what they told you. That indicates what? It indicates that you're listening to them, because listening is so important. So how does that sound? Miss Betty's going to say, well, I had a daughter named, Samantha. Samantha lived in Kentucky. Then she moved to Pensacola. And then at Pensacola, she got bit by an alligator. And then she said, hey, Mom, it's time to get life insurance. Okay. You're not going to repeat back to them. Okay, gotcha. What you're going to say is you're going to summarize basically what they told you. Oh, Miss Betty, so it sounds like You have a daughter named Samantha. She lived here and then she moved to Florida and then she got bit by a damn alligator and she's telling you, Mom, it's time to get life insurance. Is that right? Yeah, that's exactly right. So, how do you know if you're mirroring correctly, or how do you understand if people feel heard by you? You're going to hear things in your sales process such as, "That's exactly right. Yes, sweetie. Exactly. Okay, exactly." So, if you're doing a good job and you have strong emotional intelligence, you're going to get those feedback loops throughout your sales call, which are indicating that people feel heard, people feel understood, and that your emotional intelligence is growing on that call. Now, the third thing that you want to do to adapt your emotional intelligence or to gain emotional intelligence is all in your physical posture. Okay. You got to understand emotional intelligence, understanding other people, what they're feeling, what they're going through. And when Miss Betty tells you that her husband just died, and you're like, "Oh, your husband just died. How you doing?" But instead, if you can meet them where they're at, and you can be like, "Oh my gosh, Miss Betty, your husband just died. How are you doing?" Through your physical posture, your tone, your volume, and your speed changes. You have to become the chameleon, guys. And how do you become the chameleon? You actually change your physical posture, just like the physical color of the chameleon changes to the environment. You have to do this yourself. And the best way to control that is through your physical posture. When you feel your prospect through your emotional intelligence is really guarded and gated, they're closed off. They're not telling you anything about their child. They're not telling you about their family. They're not telling you anything about their life. They're really, really guarded. And they hang up on you, and you're like, "This person was mean. I'm glad I didn't sell them life insurance." No, it's your fault. You didn't get to break their guard down. You didn't get to understand where they're at, and you didn't get to help them understand that you see them and you're meeting them where they're at. So everything on your sales call is a reflection of you. So when their guard is up and you can feel that and you can sense that, you can just get that gut feeling in your and just knowing who they are, you're gonna smile. Oh, okay. Or you're gonna crack a joke to try to flip them. Oh, this guy's funny. Or you're going to go ahead and have extreme empathy, or you're going to ask deeper questions that are going to be like a trigger for them. "Oh my gosh, you're in the military. Like, I'm sure that was such an important life. How was it like being in the military?" And one question, when one guy who's so stubborn, he's closed off, and he gets to talk for 23 minutes about the military, he can get to know you and he get to understand that you understand him. And immediately that bond is created that you can go on and sell him. So everything in your sales process, if you're getting objections, if you're getting people hanging up on you, you're not getting the close, it's because you lack emotional intelligence. The second core trait that is core in every top agent, no matter what. And why I share this trait is because it actually related to me. When I first got started in this industry, I could have failed out. I didn't have the leads. I didn't have the systems. I didn't have the training. I had nothing. I literally was given a script that had, in the first 30 seconds, asking for someone's social security number. And the only reason that I won and went on to make over six figures, almost nearly multiple six figures in my first year profit as an insurance agent, was because of this character trait, which was I had raw grit. And I'm going to talk to you through this. But I don't care what your lead system is. I don't care what company you work for. People are winning there. And the question is why are they winning? And how can you adapt and develop that? And that is because they have developed this grit. So what is grit? That is the willingness, or that is the ability to show up, do the work without seeing the benefits of the fruit of your labor. So grit, or when you say someone is so hungry, or someone is just really hardworking, that is actually looking at their outputs of how much time they're investing. But grit is doing something, I believe, over and over and over and over and over without seeing the results that you're expecting for a very, very long time, but eventually making small improvements every single day, like 0.01% improvements that eventually allow you to have the breakthrough. So all of our top agents all have this in common. So how do you develop that? The first thing all of our top agents have, and what I've noticed, is they have a clear why. What is your true why that is feeding you guys? What gets you up in the morning? Do you have a small why or a huge why? And what's kind of interesting, and what I ask all of my agents is, why do you have to make this work? Why do you have to make this work? Well, I don't know. I just, I saw on Instagram you can make money. I just, I left working at this one company. I left the other company. I just want to make some money. Is that a strong why? No. Some of our most successful agents were like, "Hey, man, I had $12,000 of debt. I have a family to feed. I want to help my mom have a better life. I want to make sure that I can leave my parents' house, start living on my own, have a family, have kids, and provide for them." What is your why? And right now, if you don't have grit, you have to build a system and an environment that helps you build that grit. So the first way to have grit or to have hunger is to look at what is your why. Have a bigger why. Wake up for something bigger than yourself. So what is the system or environment that you can engineer or manufacture to have hunger, to have competitiveness, to have grit? Because they're all things that you can learn. Number one is your environment. What is your environment like? If you are living at your parents' house, and no shame, your parents pay for all your bills, you have no real bills to pay, you are stuck in a place where you have everything paid for, and you don't have to make this work, expect what's going to happen. You don't have to make this work. But if you put yourself in an environment, whether if you have kids, or you have a wife to provide for, or you have real bills to pay for, then you are going to see how your output actually changes. You're going to see how much more competitive you become when you have to float a $3,000 monthly expense, when you have to make sure that there's food on the table, when you have to make sure that your bills are paid. You are going to show up and you're going to stay later. You're going to come in on the weekends. And that is all by manufacturing an environment. So the best thing I ever did, side note, was move out of my small town and go out there and actually put myself in a position where I had to make this damn thing work. Secondly is, what system do you have that's going to help you have competitiveness or help you have grit, right? You look at some people who are like, man, this person's an A player. They're always here in the morning. They're always the last one to leave. They're always so disciplined. Why is that? Well, you got to figure out the system that they've used to build that discipline. Whether it's having a evening routine, it's going to bed at 8 o'clock every single day so I can wake up at 4 in the morning. Or it's, hey, I'm going to make sure that I have my calendar that is going to be literally color coded A to Z from 5 a.m. to 6 p.m. every single night, where I'm going to work every single day is accounted for. My dialing blocks, I have my recruiting blocks, I have my calls, I have my sales calls, I have my reviews, I have my teamwork. What system do you have on your calendar right now? Because your calendar will reflect your hunger. How many hours you actually put in is built on the system that you have in place. If you're just screwing off and you have your phone by, you're working here 3 hours, and you're like, this is not working. It's not working because you're not hungry enough. It's not working because you're not grinding 50 to 60 hours. And most importantly, if you guys are getting in the life insurance business, this is not something that's going to be easy overnight. You have to be willing to bust your face every single day for 6 months, 9 months, 12 months, 1 year, 2 year, every single day to have massive success in this business. So the first thing is, what is your why? Secondly is, how do you manufacture hunger through your environment? And then what system do you have? A calendar system, a accountability partner, a tracking system in place so that you can wake up and start keeping the promises that you make. And that is a sign that you're going to win in this business. Now, the third character trait that is so relevant in all of my top agents, and something that I think is lacked in this world of Instagram and social media and get rich quick, all of our top agents are extremely focused. Okay. You might look at, Peter, how did you grow this business so fast? Or how did you grow your YouTube channel? Or, how are you growing so quickly? I have one clear goal, and that is to change the life insurance business. I'm going to pause here. And if you're an agent right now who's looking for real systems, real mentorship, the best compensation in this business, and to plug into a winning system, click the link below. We'll jump on a call. I love to help you. I'm here to help you. I'm here to mentor you and coach you and help you actually succeed in this business. So back to the video. Focus is the most important tool. What is focus? Focus is the elimination of other things. Okay. A person who is really focused has less distractions. A person who is really focused, what would they have? They would probably have less goals. A person who's really focused would probably do less things other than the goal that they want to attain, which means that you have to develop those skills that help you develop that character trait. So let's talk through how you can build focus right now on your goal. What is truly your number one goal? Not, hey, I want to do drop shipping. I want to start a side hustle. I want to go into term life insurance. I want to do final expense life insurance. I want to go ahead and sell IULs. I want to do annuities. I want to go ahead and write a book. None of that matters. Pick one goal and go after it. Secondly, is that you need to start saying no by default. Hey, you want to go to Florida in 2 weeks to go party it up? No. Hey, do you want to come over for dinner on Tuesday? No. Hey, do you want to come, bowling on Thursday in the evening? Let's go bowl. No. One goal. The word no, and everyone said this is nothing new, is the freedom to help you hit your goals. So how much no are you implementing in your life? If your goals are important, if your goals truly matter to you, and if you're truly focused on doing that, you're going to say no to everything else that takes you away from that goal. And lastly, stick with the goal that you have in mind, guys. If your goal is to do this part-time, like for me, to stay alive in this business, to succeed in this business, is to plug in and sell, to stay less distracted on all these different things. And my greatest advice for you is pick one product, pick one way to get that client, and do that over and over for a year. I think a lot of agents fail in this business because they want to recruit, they want to build a massive team, they also want to sell. They also want to learn Facebook ads. They also want to learn how to reduce chargebacks. They also want to learn how to do customer service. And it's a lot of moving parts. And if you're spending your time doing just a little bit of everything, you're not going to make the progress that you want. So find a way to just stick with one thing and focus on selling as much damn life insurance as possible. That is what kept me alive in this business, is that I learned how to sell, and I did it at a high volume, that all of my mistakes, all of my chargebacks, I didn't think about in my first year recruiting people. I didn't think about building a massive YouTube channel. I didn't think about going out there and creating content on Instagram. I wanted to focus with one thing that I was great at, that allowed me to keep in this business. And I did that for a long period of time. And then I added on other things after I mastered what I was great at. So if this video is helpful for you guys and you want more just raw, real videos, let me know in the comments. I love you guys. I want to help you guys. And I'm just trying to share with you the things that I wish I knew when I got started and give you the advice that you can win as an insurance agent. Like this video, subscribe if you haven't. I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Cheers.